So what I want to do really quickly is I want to go live here and bring on a special guest who's also been absolutely crushing it. This gentleman has had the vision from day one of him coming on here. I remember meeting out with him here in California. This guy's traveling all over the place. But I can tell you guys, this guy's been a workhorse. He's been absolutely boots on the ground. He's also been boots online, if you will, because this guy is absolutely making things happen both online and offline. And so without further ado, let me bring up our special guest. You guys know him. He's the man online that is absolutely driving the charge. So we have none other than Gregory. How you doing, my friend?
What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, man. Glad to get you loud.
Speaking of boots on the ground, I'm literally here in Miami at a registration event from 10 to 10. It's like a registration marathon, so you might hear a little bit of background noise. Let me pan a little bit, and you're going to see all these drivers here getting, their questions answered, getting their concerns, and most importantly, registering to become drivers here in South Florida. So hopefully you can hear me, because there's going to be a little background noise. I didn't want to, if it was too loud, I would have just went in my car, but it's good to, see for people who are watching, so they can see what's going on over here. So I'm excited, man. I've been, pretty much since the beginning, since mid-November, I, saw the first presentation and I was hooked, I was sold. And even throughout all the setbacks and, the extra months that it took to get to where we are now, I mean, I didn't lose any type of faith, any type of vision. And, the hard work is going to pay off for a lot of us, especially those who stuck through this. Now we're less than three weeks away. I think it's August 1st tomorrow. Like this is crunch time. Corpus here. I just saw Vincent. I know Eric's in there. We saw Taha yesterday. I'm sure he's in there somewhere. I just walked in here a few minutes ago. But now I think I feel my role is to really narrate, illustrate, show really what's going on, because all these last few months we've just been seeing. It's kind of been like hypothetical. It's been the business presentations. It's been just what the model is, right? So now we're actually visually seeing. We're seeing drivers excited. We're seeing their concerns of what's going on with their current rideshare companies, and we're here to solve that. We're here to be a solution. And I'm just excited. I'm really excited. So it's like I'm all over the place. So you hit me up a couple of days ago saying that you were gonna interview me. So I don't know what to expect. Usually, I don't know what you.
No, I appreciate that, but tell people first of all, what was it about this business model when you saw it that really, because there's a million things that you can promote and that you can do, and for those of you who don't know, Gregory is an absolute beast when it comes to promoting and marketing and building teams and making sales. So out of all the things out there that you could have really just dug your teeth in, why was it TRYP that you decided to really go this full force with?
That's a great question. So I've been involved in several business opportunities, affiliate marketing, network marketing, building organizations, things of that nature. And this is by far, and I've been chasing that dream of true residual income, because I've made a lot of money. I've made six figures, several years in a row, and I haven't had a job in over 8 years and all that. I've been able to live pretty decent, travel and do all that stuff, but I've never really been able to break through into the real residual income, like set it and forget a type of business, get it to the 7 figures, and really be part of something that is more, to me, real world and can touch more people, because everything I've been involved in before has kind of had it was its own niche, and it was kind of had a ceiling. It was limited, It's kind of like the same marketers, the same people moving from company to company because they couldn't last and things of that nature. And even being embarrassed to talk about it with certain people. Hey, when the topic comes up, hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Yeah, I do network marketing and this and that, and it kind of But this is so real world. It touches the masses. It's the everyday people. Not only are we going to be able to reach more people with this, either as a driver or a rider, but this is going to be more stable. This business,
right.
once it gets going, and it's, like I said, I got tonight we have an event in Fort Lauderdale, and I have like my real aunt and uncle, like, family that I can tell this about. My uncle actually drives rideshare down here in South Florida. I can feel comfortable inviting them to something like this. So, the one thing is the money that's going to be made, but the other is being able to like wholeheartedly, believe in what it is that you're putting out there, because a lot of people get involved in things only for the money and they don't care about the product or service. It's just there. If it's a physical product, usually it's something that's going to be just, stocking up on their shelves or their garage or whatever. They don't care about that, or the service. They don't use it themselves or whatever. I'm going to use this. I have a 2-door vehicle. I have to get a 4-door within the next, few weeks to start driving, because I'm going to be a driver influencer. So I'm going to be a product of the product. I'm going to be promoting it. I'm going to be going live, and doing all that stuff and putting the word out there. And it's just been the easiest, in my opinion, thing out there,
Right, absolutely. And you said something really important. Oh, Trey just said one of his drivers is coming to see you in 15 minutes.
Yeah, Trey's one of my beats, and he's been signing up a lot of people in South Florida, and yeah, we're just pumping that out here. So if anybody is watching this from the South Florida area, or have anybody in South Florida area, we're at the Hampton Inn Suites in Doral, Florida. So Hampton Inn Suites. Let me see if I get the address, but Hampton Inn Suites. Let me just shout that out real quick.
Yeah, so it's the Hampton Inn Suites, you guys.
It's in Doral
right now.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that. Just sent to somebody. 3620 Northwest 79th Avenue. I don't know if I can comment here, or 30. Somebody can look it up and type it in. 36.
What is it? 3620 what?
Northwest, so NW 79th Avenue in Doral, Florida.
Spell Doral for me, just make sure I got it right.
D as in David, O-R as in Robert, A-L, Doral. Like
okay.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the place? It's the
Hampton Inn Suites.
Okay.
So from 10 to 10, drivers are coming in and out. They're getting their questions answered, and so yeah, everybody blast that, send that to everybody who you have, and you can come see some of the corporate team. You can come see real drivers. Like, the whole lot is filled with cars, and you see Uber, Lyft, decal on these are real drivers. This is not, people think that this is some type of MLM and agents signing up agents. This is a real thing, and I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I just put the address there, you guys, so you guys can see it on the screen right now. And so, I mean, in yesterday, you even showed me someone who made I think it was a TRYP license plate, right?
Yeah, somebody already registered a Florida. The crazy thing is, long time ago, I already thought I was gonna, be one of the. But I'll find some type of TRYP variation. But somebody already has it. Somebody already has a TRYP license plate.
Right.
I'm watching.
Right. Okay. Now, let me just ask you, what is the energy there? I mean, you see real drivers come in.
It's
like what?
It's exciting. It's electric. People are excited. They're ready for a change. They're ready for something better. That's really all I don't know any other words. Everybody's excited to be here, and I'm definitely going to be uploading these videos, from here. I'll probably go live. If not, I'll definitely have something that I can edit and, put out there on YouTube, on Facebook. You guys can share it. That's another thing. People always ask me, hey, can I share anything that I put out there? I'm letting you guys know, anything that I put out there, feel free to use it. All right. My content is your content. Share it. Put your own code. I don't care. Your link. Let people know that this is a real opportunity. These are real people here. They're excited, and we're going to make this happen. And I think, I don't even know what the numbers are going to be. I think the venue in Miami for the 17th, it probably holds a couple thousand. I'm expecting close to that number, a couple thousand people.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of people there. The event's going to be out of this world. There's going to be some great announcements. But you said a couple of key things that are really important for people to understand, is that this is bigger than MLM. This is not just some little MLM thing. This is a real solid business model, real customers. This is something that is absolutely groundbreaking. So when people just think this is some little MLM thing, you're absolutely missing what you have your hands on. And
right.
The other thing that you mentioned, that, and I see you do that in all of your posts, you tell people this is not MLM, right? This is
you know, because
that.
people will see certain aspects to it. I guess the way we're getting paid, the way we're building an organization, the way where we got to pay up front, quote unquote, or the drivers, and they get that stigma attached to it. Or if I show a picture or a video like from a hotel room and it's a presentation, there's that stigma around MLM. And trust me, I'm over it too. I'm burnt from that. I don't, you know, so I really, before I continue, people who do know me, as I get into the marketing space and they know I've done all these other type of things in the past, I have to remind them this is not that, over and over and over again. Yeah.
And the other thing that you said that is really important, when I asked you why was it TRYP as opposed to all the other things that you could market and make a lot of money, right? You're one of those guys that you're going to make money no matter what. I mean, you could market a rock and make money, you know what I mean? So, but you said something very important that people don't get, and this was one of the things that was really important for me, is this adds such a layer of stability and long term. I mean, when you look at a lot of these other companies out there and a lot of these networking companies, so many of them are here today, gone tomorrow. When we started looking at this started evolving, and me and David kept talking, and Mr. McNulty, you know, that's one thing I said, is that this is going to be such a long-term play. This is such a situation that people don't realize the amount of stability that this is going to build for those of you that are actually going to work like Gregory is doing. The stability that Gregory will have months from now, years from now, is just going to be insane amount of freedom that he's creating for himself right now. Is that stability that you don't get with a lot of those other companies. You know what I mean? You're worried tomorrow that they're going to be shut down, and you're worried this, and that, you know what I mean? And here, this is such a different business model. This is such a different animal. Here, this is a real, solid, tangible business that we plan to take to tremendous levels.
Yeah, and another good thing is that the timing couldn't be better. Like, the setbacks was good because we're coming in after the IPOs of Uber and Lyft. We're coming in after it's kind of been exposed, you know, how they're not profitable, how they're not taking care of their drivers, all the protests, all the strikes, and people online, you know, denouncing Uber and all this type of stuff. We're coming in after that as a solution. So the timing couldn't be better, the relevance, you know, we can talk to anybody about this. Hey, what do you do? You know, you can say rideshare. They know what Uber and Lyft are. They might be aware that, you know, they don't pay their drivers fairly. They might themselves know somebody in their family. They themselves have used it or whatever. It's just so relevant, so real world. Taha just walked in the building, by the way. He just, you know, walked. Like, this is so much happening. Like, this, I don't know where else I can be where, you know, something that's going to definitely, you know, flood the market, go viral, and just, I don't know what else is better. I've seen
yeah, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal what's happening. And again, you guys, this is history in the making. But one last question, because I know you have a lot going on right now, so I don't want to keep you too long. But one question is, a lot of people are trying to figure out in their minds, and I get this question all the time, and I answer this every day to multiple people. Well, how do I get drivers to actually upgrade now, even though it hasn't been fully launched and stuff? So what are you saying to drivers? What's your communication to drivers, to get drivers to actually take action right now?
That was a big hurdle, you know, weeks ago, months ago. But now that we do have that promotion where, you know, drivers can get involved, not have to pay that setup fee for 10 days and not have to pay the monthly for 30 days. I mean, there's literally, you know, you can't throw any rebuttal at me. Because now you can get involved risk-free and actually start earning money, you know, before you have to pay it. I just tell drivers, you know, because I've been in the lots, I've been passing out flyers, and I'm just telling the drivers, hey, just get registered, download the app, right? Get registered, and you have literally a month. You have a head start. Everybody that's about to listen and hear about this, you know, once we're all set up and the system is working flawlessly, you have a head start where you can continue driving, right? And telling your passengers, hey, download this app real quick. Next time you can, you know, request me via TRYP. Or I'm sure the drivers have driver friends or drivers that they speak to, you know, in the parking lots, the waiting areas, all that type of stuff. They can go register other drivers and, you know, wash their $199 fee. You know what I mean? Like, they can break even. They can set themselves up to where they're not going to have to worry about paying, you know, a monthly a fee. They're not going to have to worry about that. So that's really all that needs to be, you know.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always tell drivers, because I was just talking to a driver and got this driver signed up the other day, Because he was like, well, why should I pay right now? I don't have to pay with the other companies. And then I reminded him, you're paying way more than our fee to the other companies. But I said, also, let's talk business, right? Let's just talk plain business. And I said, so listen. And he said, well, what if I don't have a lot of rides right away? And I said, okay, let's just say that two things you got to remember. One is here with us, you're building up a real book of business because you can have repeat customers that you can't get Uber and Lyft. You can't build a real book of business. But because we have that where they can order their favorite driver over and over again, it's a real book of business. And I said, so let's just say if it took you 2 to 3 months before there was tons and tons of rides and you spent $600, right? Let's just say you didn't sign up any other drivers and waive your monthly fee and you spent $600. But now you have a real book of business to where you're making X amount a month, 500, 500, 1,000 plus or whatever it is a month steadily. And you spent 600, you paid 200 for 3 months in a row. Would that be worth it to you to now have a real book of business and repeat customers with this different business model? And he's like, you know what? I never even thought about it that way. He goes, because my fees right now with the other companies, I'm paying more than that 600. And he goes, I didn't even think about that. I was like, yeah. So, sometimes you have to get them thinking like a business. It's like, this is a business. If you spent $600, but now you have a real book of business and repeat customers, is it worth it to you? So now all of a sudden have all of these people and you got a head start in front of the other drivers who didn't sign up right away and get started. You're building that book of business.
And another way to look at it too is once we have the proof out of South Florida, right? Let's say even if the other cities don't have this promotion, right? The big hurdle is, why do I have to pay up front? How do I know I'm going to have business? How do I know this? Once we have the proof coming out of South Florida, right, that drivers are making money, they're building a book of business. When it gets to other cities, when it gets to Atlanta, Vegas, LA, Texas, Houston, it doesn't matter where. Whenever it gets to where, to the other city, it's going to be like a domino effect. People are going to say, okay, cool, yeah, they're going to have no problem, paying that $250 setup fee because they know that it works. They've seen the footage from Miami, they've seen real testimony, and they won't be scared as much because they're scared not because it's something new and they've seen probably other companies try to get in rideshare or whatever the case may be. So it's a little bit of that. Once we have this event in Miami, once we have that first ride, the proof is going to be there, the excitement, and it's just going to blow up. So once this happens in Florida, me and David were talking about this months ago, that once this first ride happens, we do this official launch, it's game over. For everyone that has been putting in work all of these past months, people's paychecks are about to go through the roof. Any meeting that you do, and you can show a video of an actual ride happening and everything that's going to happen this month in Florida, these other markets, you guys, are going to pop open like dominoes. They're going to come chasing us, They're going to pick down the doors and come here. So,
Yep. And all those people online that have posted negative stuff and YouTube people, it's going to silence all the critics, all the naysayers, all the haters are absolutely going to be silenced after we get done with this event here in Florida. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be game over. And for people like Gregory, who's been putting in the work, because you got to be a visionary. You got to see what's going to happen and start putting in the work. Some of you have waited until the ride happens to even start signing up drivers, but other people now are going to start making life-changing income because they were putting in the work, because they had the vision of what was going to happen. So if you haven't started yet, you need to get to work. You need to start reaching out to as many people that especially out there in Florida, and do some data mining, right? Contact your friends. Hey, who do you know that's in Florida? You know what I mean? So even if you don't know anyone, I promise you, some people in your contacts are going to know Florida.
And get people to just download the app for free, even if they're kind of like, they're not looking at the information. There's a lot of just tell, hey, take their phone. You got friends, you got family. Just take their phone, download the app. It takes a few seconds. I tell people, what's it going to cost you? Like 40, 50 megabytes on your phone and a free account, register just in case. You know what I mean? Like, at least.
And I told one lady the other day, I said, listen, exactly what you're talking about downloading the app. And I said, let me ask you a question. If you had a way to where a big percentage of the people who use Uber in your city right now, you're getting paid from each one of those people taking a ride every time they did Uber, would that have made a difference for you? She's like, oh my God, I can't even imagine if I was getting paid from people taking Uber rides right now. And I said, well, let me share something with you, because we have something right now that you're actually going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to capitalize on people taking ride shares. And this is just getting started. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, you're going to be able to earn every single time someone takes a ride. So when you put it in that perspective, and that's kind of how I've done it with a lot of people, is I bring that up. I say, hey, if you were getting paid every time people took a ride with Uber in your city, and I just usually say in your city because they can imagine how big the city is, right? From you just sharing the Uber app with them a long time ago, would that, you think that would have made a difference for you right now? They all say, man, I'd be making crazy money right now, right? And so then I say, hey, let's talk real quick. Let me get your number, because I'm telling you, this is just going to be crazy what I'm going to share with you. You can actually do that right now. And so if you guys haven't done that, that's kind of one of the strategies that I use. And it, because it's a non-abrasive.
They'll come around because they're going to see, because put it like this, you might tell somebody about TRYP and just, download it on your phone real quick, and they're going to be coded to you, right? They're going to put in their phone number. It might be 2 weeks, 2 months, next year down the line, they're going to see TRYP somewhere, either on a commercial, either a celebrity endorsing it, whatever. They're going to see, hey, wait a minute, Bishop told me about that, 3 months ago. They have it on their phone already. They're going to upgrade if they want to become a driver or an influencer, whatever. And that's that. Just get people to download the app right now for free. Just make it your goal every day. Hey, I'm going to get 5 or 10 new downloads. Just downloads, and then it's that simple. Just get them in the system.
Yeah, and you just said something really important that I love. See, people like Gregory, people like myself, Mr. Mota, etc., Taha, real entrepreneurs and business people set those kind of goals. You guys just hear what he said. Hey, say I'm going to get 5 people today or 10 people today. Real entrepreneurs set those kind of goals. And a lot of people just wake up and they're like, well, let's see what happens today. No, real people that are about their business, like Gregory, they have those kind of goals, right? They're like, hey, before I get done today, I'm going to get 5 people to download that app. I'm going to get 10 people to download their app. They're very focused. They know what they're working on that day. They know what their goals are. So that's what you guys need to do. You need to be working on purpose with a purpose, right? Not just getting up and saying, okay, well, what am I going to do today? Like for me, I figure out, okay, how many people do I want to expose? How many people I want to get to download the app? How many 3-way calls do I want to do today? How many, you know what I mean? I have it all mapped out in my journals for every type of business that I do. Everything is really, really, really mapped out in my journals on a daily basis. I mean, I have everything mapped out to a T. I know exactly what I'm focusing on, what time of day I'm focusing on it, what exact steps I'm supposed to do, right? It's like training in the gym for me, right? It's like, okay, this is my time. I'm doing these reps. My rep right now is making phone calls. Okay, right now, my rep right now is social media. My reps right now is this, and that. And you're training those entrepreneur muscles to be disciplined, right? In your work, be disciplined in your work. If you do it at your job and your boss says, okay, from 9 to 12, you're making cold calls, and you just do it and you're fine with it, why don't you have that same kind of discipline when it comes to something like TRYP that can absolutely set you free? And that's what blows my mind, is that we have discipline when we're made to have discipline in a job we don't like. But then when people say, hey, here's an opportunity for you to set yourself free, we don't have that same kind of discipline. And most people don't. They don't wake up and have it broken down. Okay, these hours I'm doing this activity and this activity alone. If you started focusing like that, I'm telling you, your results will go to a whole new level. Like, I literally have time scheduled for social media. I have time scheduled for live broadcasting. I have time scheduled for 3-way calls. I have time scheduled for presentations. It's like everything is broken down. Now, I also have time scheduled for follow-ups, right? Because if you don't have it scheduled, what gets scheduled gets done. And it's been proven. If it's scheduled, you'll more than likely get it done. If I don't have a certain time scheduled for 3-way calls, for follow-ups, for this, and that, and broke it down separately, what happens is you'll see some kind of email from somebody. Someone will send you a message on social media. Someone's going to call you, and your schedule's all over the place. And then you even forget. You're like, oh, wow, I didn't even follow up with those people. It's been 3 days, right? Because you don't have a time scheduled every day for just follow-ups, right? Just say, hey, these next 15 minutes, these next 30 minutes of this day are just follow-ups. That's all I do. I'm not doing anything else but follow-ups. Right? So if you have that kind of discipline, I'm telling you guys, it'll take your business to the next level.
Definitely, man. There's a lot of people on the midday on Wednesday. a lot of people on. You know, share this information with everybody.
Some people are asking, Greg, how many more days are y'all going to be there?
Well, they did one yesterday in Fort Lauderdale. They did one today. Everything like this like marathon driver registration thing, I think is only today's the last day, but I'm sure they're probably going to extend it. I don't know when Taha leaves, because Taha specifically flew out here to like really get to the nitty gritty, get drivers registered, explain to them what's going on with the kinks and the bugs, and that's being worked out. And obviously we're going to be, you know, guys like myself, we're going to be broadcasting that to the field. But in terms of like presentations, driver presentations, those are going on like 2-3 times a week from different teams. So and they're not what am I trying to say? We're all sharing resources. You know, everybody. It doesn't matter if you're in another team. You can come bring your people and you know, to this event, you know, in this location on this day, and you know, people are doing calls still. People are doing like real hotel presentations. Just to get drivers registered right now. It's a collective effort. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not, you know, nobody's stepping on any toes and trying to cross recruit. And, you know, you can feel safe being in Chicago and say, hey, I got some people in Miami. You let me send them over there. You know, nobody's doing any of that mess.
Yeah, you know, and that's one thing. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one thing that I love here is the culture that we're building here with TRYP. It's like what you said. No one cares who's on what team. You know what I mean? None of that kind of stuff matters. It's just like we all have this vision of what we know TRYP can be, and we know how disruptive TRYP can be and the value that it's bringing to the marketplace, that we're all going towards the same goal. Now, in a lot of other companies, you have that division where teams are fighting each other and all this kind of stuff. And here, there's so much unity, man, and it's just great.
Yeah, it's a different culture for sure, because I've come from that type of stuff where it's just different teams. And if you're not, you know, it's very, you know, like what's the word? It's like cannibalism almost. It's just very, I don't think we need any of that here, because we all succeed. You know, the more drivers is the more potential for other markets to open, and you know, the quicker we can get to those levels and revenue sharing and you know, going public, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like that, we know the end goal. So there's a lot, you know, people look at me and they see me online and they're like, oh man, Greg's a beast and stuff. There are some beasts here that you guys never seen their faces. You know, these are guys who are 25 years in marketing and they come from real estate. They come from this, they come from that. These guys have already made 6-7 figures, build massive organizations, and they're doing things belly to belly. They're packing out events. They have their own systems going on, even on the internet, but you're just not seeing them. I'm probably one of the few people that's actually, you know, in the trenches and showing this very live and raw kind of way. And, you know, I'm battling the naysayers and things of that nature, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes, and
we have some tremendous 7-figure earners. We also have 8-figure earners here, and we have people that are just doing damage out there. I mean, they are building some massive teams. And like Gregory said, you don't see them because they're not online doing all kinds of stuff, but they have systems that are doing the work for them, and they're very experienced marketers. And then we have the belly-to-belly people that are out there just crushing it as well. And one thing that's powerful about Gregory, as you guys know, he does both. You know what I mean? Because there's some people, they only do online, and for some reason they're scared to do belly-to-belly. Me, I'm like Greg, I do both. You know, let's just rock either way. Business is business. But that's one thing I love and respect about Greg, is that, I mean, he's a beast at both. You know what I mean? Gregory is boots on the ground. Me, I appreciate people that walk the walk and talk the talk. You know what I mean? Greg just comes in, he sees it, and he just goes into action, right? I don't have to call Greg and be like, hey, man, can you promote something today? Hey, can you call some people today? Hey, you know what I mean? Like when me and Greg met up here in LA, he's like, Bishop, you know, I'm not going to be bothering you a lot, man. You know, I got this, you know, I know and I'll reach out every now and then if something comes up, but I got it. You know what I mean? And so people like that I love, you know, because I've always been that way. When I get involved in something, I'm like, hey, I'm good. You know, people don't have to babysit me, because it's up to me to create what I want to create in my life, right? It's not up to other people. And so I've always had that same kind of drive, and that's why I wanted to bring Greg on, because I see that in Greg. I mean, he just has that drive, man, that's just crazy. And I can tell you guys, Greg just has a brilliant future, man, for anything that he touches. Not only in TRYP, I just think Greg's going to grow to such an entrepreneurial level. I think Greg's future is going to be even way above marketing. Me personally, I just think Greg, as he learns business more and more, I can see Greg on a whole different scale of running businesses and doing different things. And so I'm honored to lock arms with him. There's so much I want to share with Gregory and teach him. And I just had this talk the other night with somebody because I have a lot of people reach out to me that want me to mentor them and do all these different things. And I say no to a lot of people because they don't have that kind of drive. Right. I just don't like people who don't have that drive themselves, right, to just get out and make stuff happen. Gregory is somebody that, man, I can tell you, man, Greg could just, from a business standpoint, I just personally see Greg just in a whole nother level that Greg might not even right now sees himself in. I can see it in Greg, and I'm telling you guys, I just think Greg has some amazing things. I think I already have some plans for Gregory later on that he doesn't even know about, but because I see that in him. So I'm telling you guys, it's going to be powerful, man. And so, Greg, I'll let you say the last words, man. I'm going to let you get back to work. So I'll just let you say the last words.
Yeah, guys, if you've made it this far, don't stop now. That's really all there is. I mean, there's 40 people watching right now, and then there's going to be more that watch the replay later. If you're watching this, if you're still in the group, just do a little bit more, and you're going to see how far it'll take you if you've made it this far. Because there are a lot of people who fell off. We were expecting to have this kicked off, or first quarter, top of the year, and all that stuff. And a lot of people, fell back or fell off. And I think a lot of those they'll come back too. They'll come back running but get ahead of that. Anybody who's watching now, get ahead of that before the people come back and act like they were in. There's a popular line. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Drake, be in the gym right now. Be practicing. Do those repetitions and just get to work.
Yeah, and again, it's all about that discipline. Do it when you don't feel like it. Right. You know what I mean? You got to put in the work. And like me, when I go to the gym, my favorite times working out is when I don't feel like it. And then afterwards, I'm like, man, I pushed through it. I feel great. You know what I mean? The same thing with business. I mean, I don't feel like doing all the stuff I do in business every day because I do a lot of different stuff. There's days I don't feel like doing it at all. You know what I mean? But you got to push through. It's like, hey, it's on my calendar. It's on my schedule today. I'm getting this done. You know what I mean? And so that's the kind of discipline that you guys got to develop. And I'm telling you guys, the quickest way to get to where people where you want to be is get around people that are where you want to be and duplicate what they're doing. So what you see Gregory doing and you see other people doing, just do it. If you see Gregory making comments and talking to people and out there promoting this, just what you got to do. You know what I mean? You see Gregory doing three-way calls. You see Gregory putting stuff in his story because you remember it's your business. TRYP is a massive company in its whole, but each one of you have your own business. Your business is only going to grow to the level that you allow it to grow and that to the level that you grow. So if you've never done anything online, if you've never posted any kind of promotion things in your story, well, guess what? If you want to get the results Greg is getting, people have to know about your business. Because here's the thing, everyone's going to hear about TRYP after Florida, right? It's going to grow even faster. But what do you think is going to happen when someone hears about TRYP or you even mentioned TRYP? They're going to Google it or they're going to go online and look at it. But guess what? If they don't see your store, your business, they're not going to sign up with you because they're going to go online. They're going to see Gregory. And they're like, okay, this person knows what he's doing. This person's all involved in TRYP. Yeah. And that's where they're going to sign up. I'm just telling you guys, this is business. Yeah. You have your own business. TRYP is going to be huge, but that doesn't mean your particular business is going to be big, right? I'm telling you guys, you got to start thinking like an entrepreneur and make sure people know about your TRYP business, your team, what you plan to do with your team.
Yeah, I've been showing people like the behind the scenes every day for the past several months, even before all this, even before these physical meetings, even me just on my balcony or sitting on the couch or whatever, or in my car, just going live randomly, just ranting and stuff. People just, because there are people who are not going to be sold the first day. There's people who are going to have to watch me for weeks, for months. Right. It's the consistency. There are people you can't expect to make one post, two posts, or speak to three people in the street and think, oh, they're going to call you back or whatever. No, you have to you really got to get this in front of dozens, hundreds, thousands, however you can. Be consistent with it. And that's how you're gonna grow, because they're gonna remember, oh yeah, he was talking about it. They're not gonna remember that. People have short attention spans, They're thumbing through a million other pieces of content on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. You really have to have them remember you. Like, yeah, man, he was talking about TRYP, So you just gotta go hard every day.
Right.
Everything online.
And that's what it is. It's the consistency. That's what matters. You can't go live one day and then no one hears from you again about the opportunity for 3 weeks. You don't post anything else. It's consistency you got in any business. You got to be consistent building your brand, building your messaging out there to attract prospects to you. And you got to have that bait. You got to throw out bait, right? Gregory is throwing out bait every day. He's throwing out bait every day. And that's what those little pieces of content are, right? They're bait, right? To attract the right kind of target market to him, right? And so that's what you guys got to do. Some of you are so busy out there chasing people. Gregory's out there making people come to him. Yeah, right? Throwing out that bait. It's a completely different way of doing business, you guys. And so that's why I wanted to bring Gregory on, because I've been watching him and I also know Gregory. So, you know what I mean? But I see what he's doing. I'm not bringing him on because I know him. I bring him on because he's actually doing it, right? He's walking the walk, talking the talk, and he's doing it, regardless of anything else. He's making this stuff happen. And so with that said, you guys, this is the address again. How long are you going to be there today, Greg?
Oh, probably for a few. I'm going to be here until maybe like 5 p.m. because then I'm going to head up to Fort Lauderdale. So that's north of here. So
and I saw you and Michael hanging out the other day. Michael,
all the big guys are here, man, and you're gonna see more of them as well. It's not just me; it's a lot of like.
Michael and I were just talking yesterday. Yeah, Michael's a beast, man.
Yeah, real good people here. So if you're in South Florida or you know anybody in South Florida, just invite them. Invite them. They'll get clothes, they'll get help, and that's it. Yeah.
Now, one last question: how easy is the sign-up process now that you see it there and the drivers are actually signing up?
It's they have their registration out, their driver's license, their cards put on file. Like it's being done right now. They're literally, like I said, look, it's literally going on right now.
Nice. And there you guys go, you guys. There's the drivers signing up in Florida. This is happening live now, and so a lot of people doubted us. I don't know how many messages I got over the past, almost a year, and just people saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And me and David would just always say, people don't realize we're gonna make this happen no matter what. And so David and I would just sit up and laugh, and like people don't really understand that this is going to happen. They can't see it right now because of the hurdles and different things. But me and David were like, man, people have no idea that we will make this happen no matter what. And so again, kudos to amazing Taha, Vincent, Mr. Mota, and also, of course, our CEO, amazing founder, Mr. Bob McNulty, for having this vision, right? If it wasn't for Mr. McNulty having this vision, none of us would be here. So appreciate him really having this vision and pushing it through. So appreciate you, Greg. I'm going to let you get back to work, my friend, because I know you got content to create, drivers to sign up. So we'll talk soon, my friend. Keep crushing it. I'll see you in Florida very, very soon.
All right. Later.
All right. Take care, you guys.
Cool.